Okay, so my self-assessment presentation. So my name is Emma Oroz. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. I was born there. I grew up there. I've lived there my whole life. I'm a junior at Appalachian State University, hoping to graduate next December. I'm an exercise science major and a nutrition minor, and my overall goal is to be a traveling physician's assistant. Okay, so for my Big Five results, I agree with these completely. They actually kind of hit me pretty spot on. I believe that I'm pretty open to experiences. Like I was in 73rd percentile for that. I'd like to think I'm pretty well organized and reliable. I think I'm more than 76%, but I'm pretty much, that's about right. Extroversion, I'm relatively social and outgoing and everything. Agreeableness, definitely agree with that. I am not extremely forgiving versus I'm not extremely agitated all the time. It's kind of like a mix. And then nervousness, I'm definitely extremely nervous and high strung, 100% that hits me dead on. Okay, so for the perception part, how I perceive myself, I think I'm pretty organized and outgoing. I think I'm pretty hardworking and motivated, along with being open-minded and everything. And I think I'm I'm an overachiever as well. And then versus how others perceive me. So people perceive me in the workplace and everything, I'm respectful and cooperative and presentable and pretty personable. And other people perceive me as a relatively happy person and outgoing as well, and also as a overachiever. Okay, so as for life experiences, the only thing that I put on here that wasn't work related was that I did competitive gymnastics for 9 years. And that's just because that kind of taught me a lot. It taught me discipline, it taught me hard work and motivation to keep going and everything like that. And it also taught me components of being a leader because I was kind of a big sister to the little girls and everything, which kind of taught me to be a good role model and everything like that. As for work experiences, I've worked in 3 separate places, all waitressing jobs. The first 2 were in Wilmington. The first job I ever got was I was in high school, and it was my friend's family-owned restaurant, and I worked there all through high school. And then the summer after freshman year, I worked at Blue Water Grill as a waitress, which is more high-paced and serving more people and everything. So that was a pretty great experience. And then I just recently stopped working at Sage Roast Steakhouse, which I worked there all summer and the end of last year too. And all of this really taught me how to work in a fast-paced environment and everything like that, and how to deal with others, which are super good qualities. And then as for volunteer experience, I just got named my philanthropy chair in my sorority, so that's going to be a lot of organization and communication and planning and talking with others and everything, so that's going to teach me a lot as well. And then things that I learned from these experiences, I've kind of always already said this, handling stressful situations well, being able to work in a team setting, having good decision-making skills and being hardworking and determined. I learned good personal skills and everything, and learned communication skills as well. And as for my future, so in the short term, I would like to just actually graduate and get either an internship, or I go into the Peace Corps or AmeriCorps, depending on what I get into. And then in the short future, study abroad. I'm going to study abroad in the summer of 2019. And then as for long-term goals, get into the Peace Corps. I would love to actually be able to say that I did that and that I actually went into the Peace Corps. I would love to actually physically get into PA school and then graduate from it and eventually get a job being a traveling physician's assistant. Okay, so the plan part of it, weaknesses that I have, I'm pretty anal about the way that things get done and the time that they get it done in. I don't procrastinate, so I really like to get things done, and that can kind of be a problem because I want things done right away, whereas it doesn't take, I don't need to get things done right away. And communication, that kind of goes hand in hand with anxious about calling and talking to people of authority. That's just been a problem of mine. It's I get really nervous about it, and I need to just get more confident in that. And ways to improve this, simply for the communication thing, I just kind of have to call and talk to more people and just get used to being able to talk to people of authority and everything. And then implement strategies and everything just to be more fluid and socially flexible and everything like that. Okay, and so in conclusion about this class, like overall, I really like this class a lot. I really learned the components of being a good leader, and then in the opposite sense, I also learned the components of being a good employee and like what people are looking for, which is great for like the future and everything. And I learned the component of a good interview, which is also extremely important since my whole life will be interviews after this. And then as for like activities and things we did in class, like I love the hands-on activities where we kind of put the information to use. So like the plan one and where we like got to connect the manager slash like leader interview, like that was pretty nice. I got to learn a lot about that and like updating your resume and stuff like that. It was just a lot of hands-on things that you actually get to implement, which is nice. And then I like the activities that we were able to communicate and like get feedback from our classmates, because then you're like getting feedback from your peers, which is really nice and like it's good, useful information. And that is it. Oh, oops.